Really?
Okay, hello guys. I think it's time to start the class. So, did Laura tell you she would not be here today?
No.
No! Okay. Anyway, you heard from me, okay? She would not be here. So, I feel bad. But luckily I'm here. So, this is my first time I came to the, very front. Instead of staying at the corner by myself, sitting quietly, talking to nobody. But finally I got a chance, staying right here. I believe I can have a chance to see everybody's face and we're having, communication with, all of you guys. So, since she will not be here today and it will be me to work with everybody, we'll go through the reading materials, okay? In the past week, we read the 2 chapters and we're going to do some activities, okay, related to the reading materials. And we covered in the past week. So, before that, I think I'm going to introduce myself again. Because after the 4 weeks, or 3 weeks, I'm quite not sure, okay, everybody remember who I am. Yeah, I know. But it's not your fault, it's my fault. Like what I said, I have been hiding myself there for so long, yeah. So, my name is Yang, Y-A-N-G, Yang. But people like to prefer, some people I know here prefer like Yen. Because I know there's a guy, a comedian, whose name is Jimmy O. Yen, if you know him, okay? That's the same spelling, pronounced Yen. So I accept that if you call me Yen. And also, although my name is Yang, actually I'm not looking at that young as I am. But anyway, so this is my 3rd year of my PhD program. I'm from the foreign and second language education. So ESOL Across, and this is the course I've learned when I was in master program. But I forgot them all. So the first 2 weeks, when I studied with you guys, what? I don't remember. I don't learn those things. So I feel bad. But for preparing this class, I did a lot of homework. I know. You have to, because too much things, And speaking of my teaching experience, when I was in China doing my undergraduate, I teach English to the Chinese Air Force students. So when I was in undergraduate. After that, I came to the United States to do my master when I was in Pittsburgh. Yeah, Pittsburgh, very north. Yeah, I know it's cold. And I finished my ESOL program and also the certificate right there. After that, I worked as a preschool teacher. Yeah, preschool teacher, I know. Yeah, I'm not even close to teaching adults right here, right? So it's a very different experience. So I worked there for 1.5 years. Meanwhile, I also work as a Chinese teacher in a language learning center. So I teach some Chinese American elementary school kids because their parents at home, okay, they only speak Chinese to their kids. But their kids, not very good at, with their heritage language. So they have to learn. And I have to say, after dealing with so many different groups of students, like kindergarten kids, preschool kids, elementary school kids, and college students, I have to say, sometimes, based on those learners' different language proficiency levels, so how we teach, the methods, and even the how I speak, it's totally different. Probably I speak with you like this. When I speak to kids, you have to, sometimes you have to, hi, just different way. So what I want to emphasize that, so after you, if you have, by any chance to be a language teacher one day, you have the chance to meet different grades of students, probably from different backgrounds, cultural backgrounds, and you gotta think about the teaching strategies, even the discourse, okay, and even some nonverbal gestures you're gonna use. That will be, a big influence to those kids, to those students. So today, I think we're gonna spend some time to focus on discussing, okay, how we're gonna, use our verbal and nonverbal communication in the academic classrooms, and also we're gonna think about how to modify our activity, okay, or our lesson to make it more appropriate, accessible to the students who are from different backgrounds, with different grades, even in different learning proficiencies, like our 4 learners, right? We still got a poster right there. Oh wow, that's great, that's great. Okay, that's something we are to do about today. But before that, by convention, I need to check if everybody's here, okay, to the roll call. Okay, let me see. Okay, it looks like everybody's here. Let's start class. Oh, sorry. Yeah, I can't do that because I set the camera right there. You see that? Yeah, if I don't do the roll call, I'll be in trouble. Okay, just for your information, the camera is right there. It's for supervising my teaching. Okay, just for I'm not doing anything unrelated to the class. Okay, the video after recorded will only be shared with your instructor, Laura, and will not be published on Canvas. Okay, what? That's me. Okay, that's oh wow, that's awkward, right? It will not be published or shared in the social media. I have to finish the class. I'll delete it. I don't even want see myself talking. Yeah, that's something. Okay, let me know. But if I pronounce your name wrong. Okay, let's see. Everybody's here. Okay, Michelle's not here. Michelle. Yes. Samantha. Yes. I got it. Okay. Kristen.
Here.
Thank you. Sarah. Okay, mark this. Sorry. Yeah, sorry, I don't want to do this, but Laura told me you gotta make sure, okay, if everybody's here, because like every Friday, somebody got planned for the weekends beforehand, okay? But I'm glad you're still here, yeah. So, Cash. And Nandi. Thank you. Emily.
Here.
All right. Jessica.
Here.
Danny. Yeah. And Gabby.
Yeah.
All right. Julia. Thank you. Alina. Yes. Preston. Josh. Right?
Caleb.
Okay, Caleb. Yes, Caleb.
Josh is my middle name, so.
Okay,
that's exactly.
Caleb. Sorry, I missed that. Russell. Yeah, I just had a conversation with Russell last time. Okay, this time you miss. You miss him. Okay. Angelica. No. Okay. Fiona. Thank you. Amanda. Yes. Spirit. Yes. Elizabeth. Yeah. Here. And Allison. Okay. So. Not too bad. Yeah, almost everyone here. So looks like I call your name.
What?
Elizabeth, right?
No. It's Sarah, but it shouldn't have been.
Okay, Sarah. Yeah, Sarah. Yeah. Elizabeth's your middle name.
What? Yeah.
Oh yes. I missed that. Sorry.
Oh.
Okay, it looks like everybody is highly motivated, right? So take the class on Friday. I know it can be frustrating. Even though I don't like, to teach or take class on Friday. Yeah, and I believe some of you have already planned for the weekend. That's good. Okay, so anyway, but I can feel, doing a long time doing class. But I'll make sure we'll, turn this class be more interactive, and it will not feel less sleepy or hungry. Okay. All right. Regarding the 2 chapters we have read in the past weeks. So, do anybody have any reflection, questions, or just simply tell me how you feel after reading the 2 chapters? Anyone want to share with us? Or if you have any questions about your assignments, placement, you also can ask, but I cannot answer that. You better email Laura, okay, if you have any questions about those stuff. Okay, anyone want to share what you feel after reading the 2 chapters? Yeah. The 2 chapters we have, covered some major topics, such as academic subject protocol, right? Communication gap and vocabulary development. So after knowing about all those topics, so how do you feel? Anybody want to share something?
I feel like it was very long. And,
Very long.
it was
Long
interesting,
reading.
though.
Yes.
After I got through it all, I feel like I learned a lot of new stuff that I didn't know before, about the gap, closing the gap,
Oh yes.
and identifying each individual person's needs.
Mm-hmm.
So that was illuminating.
Okay. Speed?
I think that the reading was really helpful for me because when we were talking about it like last week and like,
Uh-huh.
we need to narrow down like what they can do versus like what they're being told and like what they know, and I was like having like the what was it, slide and like the two tread,
Yes.
like having the two acronyms and like seeing it actually like worked out. I was like, okay, now I get what we're gonna be doing for like our assignment.
Yes.
So I think this reading like actually set the stage for like what
Yeah.
this class was about.
Yeah, it's quite actually important part, okay, probably for also for the final project. Just as Spirit mentioned, the slide and track, this kind of technique can help us analyze the degree of the verbal and non-verbal use, okay, in the communication that take place in the academic lesson. So, all right, let's take a look together, okay? So what the Joyce Nutter, the author, okay, will try to tell us in chapter 1. Actually, there's a very important term mentioned in chapter 1, which is communication gap, okay? Also shows our title. And during the last week, okay, the last class, while we were feeding the table about the different characteristics of the 4 learners, so we met a gap as one item, right? We need to fill it. Yeah, actually that gap we mentioned, okay, last class is the communication gap we're talking about today. So can anybody explain to us what does communication gap mean exactly? Anybody? Just tell, okay, how how we comprehend communication gap. What gap it is? Allison?
Is it like the sort of gap between like English language learners, like what they know, and then between like proficient English speakers?
Yeah, that's very close, very close. Yes. So let's take a look together. Yes. Yeah. Actually, communication gap is the gap between the grade level classroom communication and English learners, their own proficient levels. All right. And the gap here, okay, this is the space as our, as language instructors, we should adapt our curriculum, instruction, and assessment. Okay, thinking about the gap and what you can do to, right, initiate your lesson plan, your instruction, how you assess the students. Okay, that's very important. So, also we know that if a child's own language and culture closely align with the larger society's language and culture, which experience at school, the gap will be small, right? But however, if the gap is large, such as the rigorous demands of the school standards and also the proficiency level of a beginning learner, such as who's beginning learner, okay? Such as who's beginning learner, or Gerald, yeah, Gerald beginning learner, okay? And the gap will be large. And for this moment, I think a large, a substantial degree of support is needed. So you have to know the gap. When should we, adapt our support to those learners? So I have a question. Have you ever experienced this moment? There's a apparent communication gap exists while you are learning a second language. I know, yeah, probably all of you have learned a second language, and back to that time, okay, while you're learning this language, probably found, okay, I cannot understand the conversation they're talking, okay? I learned the words he or she mentioned, but I just don't know what they're talking about. Do you have this moment? Anybody want to share? I see you nodding the head, but I don't want to share. I want to keep to myself. I don't want to share. Okay, come on, tell us. Yeah, Allison.
So I took French in high school, and I was able to go to Paris between my junior and senior year, and I was able to communicate somewhat, but it really put me in a perspective of how much I still needed to learn, because people would be having conversations and just be talking so quickly, and sometimes I would how you said recognize words, but I guess just because of the context of other words that I didn't recognize, I'd be struggling to figure out.
Yeah, totally feel that. Yeah. So anybody else? No? Oh, you are good learners, right? Okay. All right. Daniel.
Well, I had the same, I studied French as
Yeah.
well, and I also went to Paris, and I myself had trouble, like, during the learning process, figuring out how to put together a sentence that made sense. So I also, like, learned the words, but I myself couldn't really put together a sentence, so, like, trying to listen to other people put together a sentence is just, like, not at all.
Oh yeah, that's true.
I went to Italy and I took Italian 3 there, so the communication gap
Mhm.
was a lot smaller
Mhm.
when I was talking. It was still there, but in my mind I compared it to when I went to Peru and worked with kids there,
Mhm.
but I wasn't studying Spanish. I knew some, but the gap was like huge in comparison. So I think like feeling different
Okay.
gaps was really
Okay.
interesting.
Okay. Yeah. Let me show you a very concrete example, like experience while I was learning English as my second language. So the first time I came to the United States, I mean, my own culture background, okay, and compared to a lot of society cultures, quite different. When I was the first time in Pittsburgh, okay, because I know the people here like to talk about sports. I like sports as well. I like basketball, soccer, but not football. I'm sorry. So the first time I came here, people there, or even at FSU, football definitely the most popular, right? Okay, Pittsburgh Steelers, I know. And at that moment, I know nothing about football. I don't know the rules. I don't know the position each player play out on the field. I don't even know what the tailgate party means. I don't know what party it is called tailgate. Okay, all right, I got it. I show you a picture. They tell me, okay, what we're gonna do. Okay, that is a party. Okay, no problem. Yes, but in order to fit into the society, the community, in order to not let myself lose friends, I have to learn something about football, about all the history, also what the different players play on the field. Yeah, I know the vocabulary like quarterback, but I don't know exactly which position the player play. Quarterback, the back, or in the corner of the field, or that's totally different for me. Very difficult. So every time I talk with those friends who are talking about football, I just nodding my head. I agree. Yeah. Even when I watch the football game, I don't know which team should I cheer for. Okay, just keep silent. Yeah, in case embarrass myself. But after a while, I've seen the Pittsburgh, watching the Steelers game, and also came here. Yeah, I learned a lot. So that's very apparent communication gap. So my own culture, language, background does not align with the local society background. So that's why, I need to find something, find support to fill the gap. Right? Do anybody, have such experience as well? Anybody want to share? No? So how about this? So tell me, how can we approach the gap in the classroom? Do anybody know how can we approach a gap in the classroom? Okay. Allison?
Sorry, someone was-
Yes. Okay. Spirit? Right?
I was gonna say
Mhm.
that I think getting to know the students is
Mhm.
like the most important thing, because if you know like things about their culture or things about the way that they communicate, like, even for like older kids and younger kids, like you can work with them. There's like a respect there because they know that you're trying. So even if like I had a student who didn't speak a language that I knew at all, I could still like work with them because I was trying, and they like
Mhm.
saw that. So I think getting to know the students is
Yes, as language instructor, you have to initiate a conversation and find an appropriate, right, timing and proper vocabulary you're gonna use and explain in different ways. All right. Also, we're gonna see. Let's take a look what the author, suggests what we need to do. Yeah. Fortunately, they have developed a protocol which can help us, identify the decision points, the exact decision point for appropriate support for those English learners, which is called academic subject protocol. It's very important and one we're going to discuss later. So for this ASP, academic subject protocol, so anybody tell me what is the purpose of using ASP? If you have read the chapter, yes. Or just tell me, okay, how do you feel when you hear academic subject protocol? It's about academic subject, right? So what does this protocol use for? Anybody want to share? How do you feel? Okay, what we can do to, by using this protocol. Just then we talk about communication gap. So it must relate to the communication gap, right? Okay, let me just show you. Actually, it is for sizing up the gap and identify the resource we need in the classroom. Okay? And speaking of the academic subject protocol, so if you check the first step, okay? The first step is understanding the task. That is a very important one, right? Because after reading materials, we know that the proportion of adopting verbal and nonverbal communication in the classroom is of great influence to the students, okay, who are still English learners. And here the author suggests a technique to help us analyze the degree of verbal and nonverbal means, which Spirit just mentioned. It's called slide and tract. Okay, another question. Today I got so many questions. Okay, what is the slide and tract? We all know it's called slide and tract, but what kind of slide and what kind of tract? Actually, it's not that way. Okay, so anybody can explain the slide and tract to us? Yes.
Okay, so I'd have to pull up the article to define each acronym, but they're acronyms that represent certain activities that you can do with students that aren't very verbally intensive, and then other activities that are very verbally intensive. So I can't remember which one's which, but I know some of the activities that are not so verbally intensive are hands-on, so weighing things or color representing things. Just maybe small group work, but then something that's really verbally intensive is getting up and presenting in front of the class, or having to give a rationale or a discussion or something like that.
Awesome. I think you even explained better than the author. But we're gonna define which one is the more intensive, language intensive, which one is less language intensive. Okay, let's take a look. So actually slide and tract is a series of acronyms. Just like you mentioned, okay, for verbs that indicate the specific aspects, for our language, that students and teachers doing in the classrooms, okay. You can take a look of those verbs, okay, and see how different they are. For example, you can see the verbal communication mostly, include the written or oral English. It's more language intensive, right? In contrast, we can see the slide, which is nonverbal communication, emphasize more hands-on experience, manipulatives, pictures or visual models, less language intensive. All right. So if we want, take a look. When we take a look at an academic lesson plan or activity, we're going to analyze if this activity is appropriate to be used, adopted for our English learners who are at a specific level, right? For some learners, they may need help, more demonstrating the description, instruction of the activity you are doing, okay? How about let's do an activity? Let's see what the slide and tract. Okay, we can take this technique to use in the classroom. Let's watch a video first. So in this video, let's talk about a science class, okay? And the teacher teach this science class by speaking a different language. Imagine that if you are the learner who are learning this language as your second language, and all your academic subject classes are taught in this language, and how do you feel? But I assume some of you may understand what she's talking about. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know this language.
In this simulation, you've recently moved your family to a new place, and you are attending a new elementary school. Pay attention to the lesson and be prepared to write down 5 things the teacher talked about.
Okay? Prepare paper and your pen. Or write down 5 things the teachers mentioned in the video. I like what I said. Just imagine that you are the students who are taking the class. I'm also the student who are taking the class, okay? Let's see. Can we all answer all the questions they showed at the end of the video?
Bom dia, estudantes! Ontem discutimos os ácidos e as bases. Hoje vamos aprender se algumas substâncias comuns da casa são ácidos ou bases. Vamos determinar o pH e outras características de cada substância, igual que descrever os resultados da nossa investigação. Antes de começar, vou recordá-los que enquanto trabalhamos no laboratório, vocês devem sempre usar seus óculos de proteção, luvas e aventais. Nunca podem tocar, cheirar, saborear ou misturar qualquer material até eu os diga que possam. Cada grupo vai precisar dos seguintes materiais que estão especificados na sua folha de exercícios: 8 tiras de papel tornassol, amostras de água destilada, suco de limão, vinagre, bicarbonato de sódio e amônia, copos plásticos, óculos de proteção, avental e luvas. Como expliquei, vamos medir o pH de substâncias comuns da casa para determinar se são ácidos ou bases. O pH é medido usando uma escala de 0 a 14. As substâncias com o pH mais baixo que 7 são ácidos. Olhem o vermelho. As substâncias que têm um pH mais alto que 7 são bases. Olhem o azul. As que têm um pH de 7 são neutrais. Olhem o branco. Para determinar o pH de uma substância, tome uma tira de papel tornassol e molhá-la numa das suas substâncias.
Now it's time to write down 5 things your teacher talked about. Be sure to include at least one of the many safety tips.
Did she talk about safety tips? I don't know.
Yes, she did.
Wow.
When she pointed towards
She
safety
pointed at all the
goggles.
safety goggles.
I was like, that was very
Yeah.
She also
Yes,
talked
I'll lie.
about tasting it.
Oh, did she?
Yeah, she said tokar, which is touch.
Okay. 7 seconds. Yeah.
Oh.
I know. If you know it, you will know it, right? Probably some of you may understand what the language?
Was it not Spanish?
No.
I knew it wasn't. I was like, at first I was like, is this French? And I was like, no, there's a Spanish word. So I guess it's Portuguese.
It
Yeah.
sounded like French for Ben. I was like,
Some
no,
similar
sorry.
features, right?
Right.
We can
They're all
find
Romance languages.
between Portuguese and Spanish. So for those who are learning, Spanish, probably you will be more familiar with this, Portuguese. But for me, Chinese is quite a different genre of language, That's, different from all the Western language genre. So I really have no idea about this. So 5 things the teacher talked about. Anyone want to share?
She was talking about the difference between acids and bases.
Okay.
I think she mentioned something about like opening and closing it and don't taste it.
Alright, don't taste it. Just don't taste any chemicals, anything like that, yeah.
So this one might be cheating when she said like Vinegar, which I think is
Okay.
vinegar, and there's also a bottle that had it.
Alright. You can see that? Wow. I cannot even see that when I was so close. Alright, so Spirit?
She mentioned like the different colors of the pHs, like that we're gonna be testing it.
Okay, okay. See? That's the difference. That's the difference. See? For those students, probably you are in intermediate or some are in advanced level. Yeah. For a student like me or some others, we are probably not even close to beginning, right? Just very amateur beginning level. So if we have this an academic class like this, and the teacher gonna elicit the class in this way, right? How can we know what we right? There's nothing we can do, yeah. And even we know how to do all the chemical, chemistry stuff, but we don't understand what the teacher talk about. Probably we cannot follow all the instructions, right? And how can we talk with our classmates? That's a problem, right? Right now, I'm going to show you another video. Okay, another video also taught by the same teacher. Same teacher, yes, speak the same language, yes. But this time, she kind of elicited the lesson in a kind of different way. Okay, after watching the video, to tell me what's the difference between. Okay, the next video I'm going to show you, compare with this one, the difference, and also tell me what level of English learners would feel easier to get access to the next type of teaching style and compare with this one. Okay, let's take a look. Yes. Okay.
In this simulation, you've recently moved your family to a new place, and you are attending a new elementary school. Pay attention to the lesson and be prepared to write down 5 things the teacher talked about.
Bom dia, estudantes. Good morning, class. Ontem discutimos os ácidos e as bases. Acids and bases. Hoje vamos aprender se algumas substâncias comuns da casa são ácidos ou bases. Vamos determinar o pH e outras características de cada substância, igual que descrever os resultados da nossa investigação. Antes de começar, vou recordá-los que enquanto trabalhamos no laboratório, vocês devem sempre usar os seus óculos de proteção, goggles, luvas, gloves e aventais, aprons. Nunca podem tocar, cheirar, saborear ou misturar qualquer material, até eu os diga que possam. Cada grupo vai precisar dos seguintes materiais que estão especificados na sua folha de exercícios: 8 tiras de papel tornassol, amostras de água destilada, suco de limão, vinagre, bicarbonato de sódio e amônia, copos plásticos, óculos de proteção, luvas, avental e uma escala de pH. Como expliquei, vamos medir o pH de substâncias comuns para determinar se são ácidos ou bases. O pH é medido usando uma escala de 0 a 14. As substâncias com um pH mais baixo, que é 7, são ácidos. Olha o vermelho. As substâncias com um pH mais alto, que é 7, são bases. Olha o azul. As que têm um pH de 7 são neutrais. Olha o branco. Para determinar o pH de uma substância, tome uma tira de papel tornasol e molhá-la numa das suas substâncias.
Now it's time to write down 5 things your teacher talked about. Be sure to include at least one of the many safety tips.
Okay, let's just, we don't need to calm down, okay? So probably, after watching this video, you have an idea, okay? At least you can write 5 things, because you can see some translation of the vocabulary there. Also, the teacher used, some English words, right, while she's instructing class.
I think one of the biggest differences between the first video and the second one is how much she took time to demonstrate and model exactly what she wanted the students to know and understand. And so in the first one she was kind of just running through it, but in the second one she really slowed down and was well, make sure you wear your goggles and put on your gloves.
Yeah, also after watching the video, I feel I forgot all the things I learned in my chemistry class, right? So that's also a good thing. Any difference you find?
She uses multiple ways of teaching the class, so she has them written out, the words.
Yes.
It's accessible for people who are visual learners or
Yes, I
instead
agree.
of auditory learners.
Yes, for the student probably like me at the beginning level learning Portuguese, so I probably need more, right? Those manipulatives and vocabulary support. Yeah.
She also repeats the word more than once. She already taught, basically taught what the word was, but that she does it again later, and it's clearly just to reiterate it. It's not to introduce you.
Yes. Anyone else?
Just going slowly when she speaks, I feel like that makes a big difference. Even though I didn't really think in the first one that she was talking fast, but the second one I was oh, I really understand. She's being super intentional.
Oh, yes.
And her diction and everything else.
Yeah, slow down the pace, how she starts the class, and also provide more, right? Manipulatives, hands-on materials, that's quite, helpful. And also, in terms of the slide and track, so it's kind of obvious, right? Which one is more slide, which one is more track? If you still remember, which one is slide? Of course, the first one definitely is more track, oriented, because we know the instructor has used try to explain the things, lecturing, explaining, oral, more like oral means. But the second one is use a lot of hands-on materials. It's more, right, slide. So slide and track, one is more, right, non-verbal means involved. The other one, more language intensive. You need to remember the 2 different, types of. So, for helping us understand the use of slide and thread, here I prepare a handout. Yes, he has this. Thank you. So the handout I'm giving out is an activity, all right, in a science class. So for this time, we review the activity in the handout, all right. Then we're gonna use the slide and track, this technique, all right, to analyze the verbal and nonverbal communication in this activity.
Do you have another sheet?
Do we have more? Okay, sorry. Yeah. Yeah, try to underline the verbs that indicating the features of verbal and non-verbal. Okay?
Yeah. So what underlying?
You underline the verbs that are indicating, the aspect of the verbal and non-verbal features that emphasizing the slide and tread column. Yeah. Which one is more slide? Which one is more tread? Okay, I know, probably some of you have finished underlining the verbs. Okay, next, I need to analyze the verbs you underline and think about which verbs signify a heavy dependence on the language. If so, please mark this, task as requiring support for ELLs. Just for example, this part probably the teacher use more too complicated vocabularies. I assume that student may not understand, okay? And also thinking about how to modify the activity and make it more approachable to the learners who are at the beginning, intermediate, and advanced levels. Yeah, you can talk, discuss with each other. Sorry, I didn't mention. Of course, you can discuss in the group. Yes.
Would you say that analyze is verbal? Are they, if they're analyzing on their own or in their own mind?
You mean?
Is it like analyzing information?
You mean a student or a student, right? For example, if the task, activity, okay, in this doesn't matter. It is to prepare. Probably you want to, adapt more slide.
Yeah, that's a good
Right. Make it more better. Yeah.
I've done this activity.
Yeah, I just identify those verbs which are slide, which are prep. Yeah, and thinking about the extent, the degree. Yeah, and if we have something like the beginning, the medium, will they feel comfortable with the activity? Probably for advanced levels students. Okay, if you are trying to spend orally, that's fine. How about for something to discuss? How can we modify this?
I just haven't been advised.
Thanks for advising.
Sadly.
Yeah.
I wish I had made those. My favorite person that
Size of the box.
Yes, they probably considerized it by using the language, right? They want. So, understand instruction, they probably can also, how you try to, you know, how you that's also important, because you know, he or she cannot express verbally that well, right? So, probably just want him or her to answer some simple questions, right? Or just pointing, okay, which one is happening?
I was like, you as a teacher, yeah.
I feel so awkward when
This is what I did.
walking around like
Or here's some like,
Advanced levels, probably you wanna
Show any difference in
ask
what she's saying?
Yeah.
question. Can you tell me what's the weight? Yeah.
Today's paragraph.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, something like that. Yeah. How much coins we can
I feel like Eeyore.
for higher level questions.
That's a lot of information to give at the beginning.
Yeah, I was like, do I need to
Of the lesson.
look at it now? If she's just using because he was like, she wrote this for herself, but she didn't. I don't know.
Kind of the sound words.
So I guess maybe that's like.
Alright, try
Okay, one more thing I wanna repeat is that thinking about your language learners. Okay, so think about if you have a beginning level student, an intermediate level student, an advanced level student. Give you more concrete examples, just like Edith, Edgar, and Taser. There's 3 students in 3 different language levels. So you got all information on the wall. Think about if you have the 3 students in your classroom in this academic science class, how you modify the activity. Make these 3 different learners understand instruction and can do this activity well. All right? Okay? Please talk in the group, yeah, so you can have more idea. Yeah.
Stage one. What do they do? I can't remember. This first what period? Keywords. So I guess for this lesson, this is a lot on like double demonstrating that having an output over there.
Yeah, you start with
It was also like last Friday, I like to make sure that I finally realized how well most
yeah, it just came out. And they have like this
I know, look at my friend. I never
No, I always hear people like getting like you are just like always hurt.
I wasn't really thinking, so it's possible that it was.
Yeah, when you put them on your partners, one partner gets, I like the other one, isn't it?
Yeah, thankfully he doesn't get sick super often. Word of mouth. He does more that's also like
Oh, yeah. And then it's like right when they're getting over it, then the other person starts to get it. Yeah, it's really weird.
What school does he go? He's at like stage 1.
Oh, okay. So they get it. What's the
He has some government and economics class, and then he's got one class sociology and psychology. And then he just does this like yellow. He's got his master's and stuff.
a lot of people are like,
I don't like
Yeah, exactly.
Well, like some of the other
I don't like them because
he's
if you're low
got to do like actual.
your skin
But
like
they're
feeling
the sociology and psychology.
also they get
that's when they can do
They know.
you just clean them, but like if you forget.
So So we're discussing how to alter the.
Yeah, how to alter the class activity. We're thinking about that 3 learners we have discussed last class, okay, last week. Edith, Anna, and Julia, because they are from like 3 different level proficiency levels. So how to adapt this
So I guess you would just the difference would be like what if like you have combined Spanish?
Yeah, so she couldn't really do like you couldn't
Yeah.
do it in 2 languages like she did, and still didn't
You have to like.
no stage
I think
three, I think we can
if
get
you
rid
teach
of
other
those.
schools translate.
And if not, and a lot of visuals.
Yeah.
Okay, remember that we have 3 learners, 3 different learners, alright?
Like they can walk you through the instruction.
It is Anna and Teza. Yeah.
But like, she also like.
Take a look out there.
Yeah.
Background information and see how can we adapt this activity to those 3 learners. Alright?
That would help.
No, I'm just trying to think about that now.
Yeah, think about that.
It's
Yeah.
just so important. Like, that should just be.
I need to get them. I tried. I couldn't
No, I don't at all.
It doesn't.
Or if I hear stuff, I have to write. Yes.
Yeah.
Like support for teachers.
Like double.
Right. Yeah, that like just is all of them. It's very active writing, and it's visual.
Oh, well, he's not part of our 3.
Yeah, so.
We're only doing 3 over there.
Everything else we should.
This is the 3 you said.
And I still
I don't know how Edgar.
maybe with just having
But it drives Ooh, what grade level is this for?
It's also in the chapter, I'll do a
Graphic
and then they it's kind of similar in the chapter. It's not that it's got most of
If he lacks conversation skills,
Did you buy a
No, I just read it.
Oh, okay.
This is the one that she gave us.
Oh, gotcha. So
There's a word for it, and
Yeah, she's the one that she's given, so we could be a big share when they get time.
that's really nice. She said she's like pretty cool.
And also, a lot of people.
Really?
I can't read what they
Yeah.
Or at least especially for the first couple weeks of class, it's like the
Which is?
time to
Yeah.
see a movie with it, you buy it, and then
The struggles with it.
oh, yeah, and that is like smart.
I guess there's a disconnect in real life. I think that connection might be what it is that solved it.
That's what I
think
like.
he uses conversation issues and talking.
Yeah, that's what I mean,
that's says lacking academic knowledge. Maybe having like graphic
Okay, I'll give you 2 more minutes. 2 more minutes. You haven't finished your plan for our 3 learners. Yeah, you gotta move on to the next one. Okay, Edith, Anna, and Tayson. 3 learners. What you can do, okay, adapt this activity to these 3 learners. 2 more minutes, okay?
Never do that. We did our work.
That's
That's what I was excited about. Especially to describe things that they language. Like, I was writing them. Everything this lesson is like kind of play around with
Based on where you live.
Oh, yeah.
They're all like migrated to the
Yeah, he was really there, and I was
Instead of thinking of
You
like
know, I'm
certain
surprised
railroads
on
and coastal
areas.
areas.
And then like, is that great?
And also Joyce work with Abbas and the
That's what I see.
I was like being so like aggressive. What? It was just like
I never interacted with her, but I never interacted with her, but she seemed nice. Oh, she would?
Yeah.
All right, guys. Okay, I think we are running out of time. So we got each group. We gotta share with each other. Tell me, do you think the activity is more slide or more track? Show me some example, evidence. So, what type of verbs indicate it can be a more slide or more track?
We said it was more trend because they opened up the what to do part by saying tell your students to do the following. And then it lists out all the things. So it doesn't necessarily say whether or not they'll be doing anything else besides telling. But we did make note that later on, closer to like step 7 and 8, they start to say things like have each group like weigh. So that's something like you're doing, and then also make a past data table. So now they're like making things to like show people instead of just talking. But that doesn't it doesn't indicate that the teacher themselves will be doing the thing. It just says have the students do it.
Yes. So the teacher did help, demonstrate some instructions for the students. Anyone else want to share? Okay. Do you think does this activity has any trad features?
Well, this is just a side note, and I haven't done all of the verbs, but
That's fine. Yeah.
I got at this point half and half. So I thought this is a good example to like lean toward one or the other by what we whatever edits we have for the learnings. But I thought that was interesting. I think it's hard. It's kind of hard to determine if it's overly weighed on one or the other.
Yes. Yeah, it's kind of hard to judge, the degree of the style and track. But if we look at all the 3 learners, specifically, so how do you adapt this activity to Edith, Edgar, and Taser? Because we have analyzed the 3 different language learners last class, so it's very familiar to us. And now I need each group. All right, share your idea. How can we help those 3 learners to better adapt to the activity here?
We said for Edith,
Yeah,
because
she
she
can
has
look back.
Yeah.
They can look back. Yes.
I started with stage 1.
Yeah. So we actually we did stage 1, 2, 3, and 4 instead of doing for like the specific people. But like with stage 1 and 2, we had similar things. Was saying that we can have like the pictures of their step by step, so that they see like make a boat, and it's like paper, and then like a picture of a boat. And then for having like explaining the name and like the design to have like kind of fill in the blank sentence starters. And then also like word banks for their discussions and like guided questions, so that students have time to like think of their responses and fit together different pieces and feel like more confident when reading like our boat's name is, and then just having to like plop in one word versus like come up with a whole sentence themselves.
Yeah, definitely can prepare like paper boats, bring to the classroom and also show a picture. Yeah, does help. Yeah. So how about the Edgar and Taser? Anybody, have made a plan for the intermediate student and our advanced students? Do you think it's necessary to change the activity?
Well, I think this would be helpful for anyone, just to have more visual prompts of like, you have the thing of water and you have the pennies, and then pointing to each one, a lot like the Portuguese speaker lady did, just for more visual learners.
Okay, of course, it's very hands-on activity, so definitely we need more visual. models. Yeah, to support know how to do this activity better. All right. Okay. How about this group?
I guess for like more proficient level students or TCS, I guess. I think that being aware that the analyzing part is kind of vague in the instructions, and so making sure that the teacher is aware that they may not have all the academic language of how to analyze something, even if they do have more of the like day-to-day, like they know how to hold paper and they can understand directions. So the teachers being aware to like maybe go over to her when they're analyzing in a group, so that even though she can do most everything in the instructions, that she still has like an idea that they might be lower in academic.
Yes, I agree. Yeah, so how about that group? Yeah, Preston? Yeah, do you guys have any?
Well, we did for Taser.
Okay.
We said that we noticed that it said that she struggles staying motivated, but does good in social situations. So we were talking about making the content in this like relate to beyond school, so that she might be more motivated to participate in it.
Yeah.
We weren't sure how, but we would figure that out.
Yeah. How about for the learner like Edith and Edgar, which is more,
Edgar, well, Edith, we couldn't really tell, besides simplifying the language we use, or it says that she likes support from teachers, so we thought more like one-on-one support for her. And then Edgar, what did we say for him? He had conversation skills. I didn't know what budding meant though.
Like growing, beginning.
Oh, okay. So we were thinking like think, pair, share before they, or like practicing their thing before they present it to the class. So.
Yes. So you have to explain the instruction well by using the visual models. You just mentioned also some pictures. Yeah. Or you have to demonstrate by yourself, right? So they will know, okay, the step 1 should do this, the step 2, I need to do that, yes. How about this group? Do you have an idea? Yeah, how to
we
adapt
kind of
this
said the
activity?
same thing that
Okay.
everyone else said about like visual demos and like the hands-on instructions, make sure like they understand, and like simplifying it more for Edith.
Okay,
and
Edith.
like a little more social for Tazir, so she like stays motivated.
Yes, keep her motivated, yeah. I assume those hands-on activities, they're quite, can help those students feel motivated because they're not very dull, just draw drills, you'll feel bored. Yeah, this kind of activity actually, student will be interested if you can demonstrate well, right? So here I have another handout, which is a modified version of the boat. So take a look on this handout and see if there's any difference between yours and this modified version. Yeah, probably I believe some of yours is even better than the modified example. Okay, this is not a unified answer, just an example for you here. Give you some idea, how to modify the academic lesson activity. Take a minute to compare the modified one and
Oh, is this like the difference, the difference between the way it's laid out on the paper? Because this looks much more easy. This looks so much easier to comprehend than a huge paragraph of
so actually this is
oh, okay.
That's the same.
Oh, so the
You
format
guys can give some ideas what kind of support. Yeah, basically I believe, all groups covered all the the suggestions mentioned in the modified version. Yes, and it just gives you some idea, what you can do to help those English learners better understand the instruction of the activity. Also here, I attached some slides to show you some examples. Okay, based on the 3 English learners levels, how can we adapt this activity to each of them? Okay, let's take a look together. So, probably for the English learner at the beginning level, for like Edith, we can try to model the directions, right? You can using some paper, the pictures, just as you said. And also, we teach her some vocabularies that we gonna use for doing the activity. Of course, you have to know what is penny, the weight, or some tape, yes. And we also can ask some simple questions, right? Just probably you don't need to let her to verbally express by pointing. You just ask which boat you think is heavier, right? So, or which boat you think can hold most pennies. So for Edith, probably she can only point, right? Or tell you of right or left, use simple words. And for the intermediate students, okay, like Edgar, we also can teach some academic vocabularies, yes, and also ask simple questions, but probably you're gonna level the degree of difficulty of the question you can ask. Right? How much weight? So he can tell you the numbers. He probably has learned the numbers at least, right? And for the students in advanced level, like how do you pronounce her name again? Tessir. Tessir, okay? Sorry, okay, I forgot your name. Tessir, okay, I'm sorry. Yeah, also, you can move the level from teaching the vocabulary to give some instruction about grammar, because she's an advanced, level of English learner. Probably she understands the vocabulary, and you can teach some grammar like comparatives. Yeah, because we are doing comparison between the weights, right? And also ask more open-ended questions than simple ones for advanced learners. And you can also ask her to record information and take notes, use bullet points. Yeah, you have to fill up otherwise instruction. Okay, those are examples for the 3 different levels of student. All right, it's not a unified answer. Just to give you an idea, okay, of how to adapt activity. Or if one day you happen to be an academic class teacher, but you have the English learners in your classroom. All right. So how about let's take 5 minutes break, and we'll come back and continue with the class. 5 minutes break. Yes.
Wild. Look at that. When you go into info now, there's like info, they're separate photos and link attachments.
Not that one.
I need to get my one head walking, so that mine.
Wait, what's my undertones? Right there? Yeah. I should put them everywhere.
Mine be emojis looks like a
I think that's cute. Wait, what's this? Wait, what's this? Blue. Wait. Wait, it follows my face.
Yeah, it's already following.